Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, I am April. I create content about becoming your higher self, spirituality, self-development, everything spiritual and everything mystical. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button now and follow my social media accounts. I'm very active on social media. I do want to interact with all of you guys, so follow me. I want to get to know you all, and let's just make this something more personal. I want to bring you all on this journey with me, and I want to be a part of your journey as well. I actually created a poll to see what you guys would want to see in my next video, and it was between Meditation Explained or my personal top 5 favorite self-help books, and it was a tie. It was actually a tie. So I am going to give you all what you want. I'm going to give you both videos, but this one in particular is my top 5 favorite spirituality or self-help books. Now, I have read many books, so it's not easy narrowing it down to 5 books, but I did my best. This will be the first of many. I plan on providing you guys with many different book reviews videos in the future, but I did put my top 5 in this video for you. So thank you for being here, and let's jump right into it. This first book is One Day My Soul Just Opened Up by Iyanla Vanzant. One day my soul just opened up. I don't know if my camera's focusing. Bear with me, I'm still getting used to this camera. So I hope you guys can see it as clearly as I can. So this book is by Iyanla Vanzant, which is a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher, an inspirational speaker. She has her own TV show you guys probably heard of, Iyanla Fix My Life. And my mom actually exposed me to her at a very young age, and I've always been interested in her teachings. But when I turned about 21 years old, I actually started reading and, taking on everything my mom taught me about her and her books. So I was going through a very tough time. I probably was going through postpartum depression from my first child, and the universe just gravitated Iyanla Vanzant's teaching to me, and she has been the #1 spiritual leader, spiritual guru, and teacher that I have used in my personal growth and my personal development. But what's so special about this book is she literally speaks on every single topic in life. She didn't miss one thing. Iyanla Vanzant, this book is 40 days and 40 nights, so it's a daily read where you'll read it in the morning, and she has space where you can write notes, and then you have an affirmation for the day that you can read to take with you throughout that day, and then you come back at night and you write about your experience and how you used and how you applied that particular topic for the day. Yes, 40 days, 40 nights towards spiritual strength and personal growth. And she speaks about every single topic, from creativity to judging others, to judging yourself, to forgiveness, to loneliness, to freedom, to balance, fun, clarity. I mean, she did not miss a beat. I really love this book because it's not a religious book, but when you know something is true, you can feel it. You know the truth by the way it feels. So when you're reading this book, you can honestly feel the truth and the well-being and the clarity that God provided her while she was writing this book. So I plan on reading this book until I'm in a rocking chair watching my grandchildren play outside, and I will always come back to this book. I've been reading it for like 5 years. I always come back to it. I'm sure I've read every topic more than twice each, and every time I read it, I get a new understanding. So this is definitely a book that you want to take with you on your journey towards healing and just being a better person all together. Not even if you're not spiritual, this book will still help you in everything that you want to do in succeeding life and finding your purpose and just being happy and finding that joy. And she makes it very clear about how to move on forgiveness and so many other topics. So yes, definitely One Day My Soul Opened Up by Iyanla Vanzant. Check this out. It is life-changing. So number 2, I have here The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is one of my favorites as well, a book that I always would go to when I'm old in my rocking chair as well. This is a very popular book. I'm sure many of you have seen this cover and probably never checked it out, but I'm here to recommend it to you now. This book is just simple 4 agreements, meaning something that you believe that it is true, something that you agree to be true for you, in a way that you will live. And the first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. A lot of us underestimate the power of our word. Our word can create life, or our words can create death. And it's really that simple. It's nothing to be afraid of. Just think before you speak. We've learned that since we were in kindergarten. Think before you speak. And make sure if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. It's always a nice way to say something. And this book makes it very clear that that is the first agreement that we need to live abundant. The second agreement is do not take anything personally. This is an agreement that I've been working on a lot this year, and I started reading this book maybe the same year I started reading One Day My Soul Opened Up. But I started reading this book, and I didn't really understand when they said don't take things personally. It took me a while to grasp the understanding of what that meant. It says here, nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be a victim of needless suffering. So this is something that we all can take a heed to, because our egos love to be offended. And what he explains in the second agreement is that it has nothing to do with you when someone else is rude or disrespectful, or if they project their own insecurities upon you. You let them live their dream, and you choose your reality to be offended or not. And don't take it personally. Know that it has nothing to do with you majority of the time. So that's a very important agreement that I love. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. Assuming anything could be fixed with a conversation, basically. I'm just summing that up like that. Don't assume, ask questions. And the fourth agreement is always do your best. Pretty self-explanatory. Always do your best. Your best can be different day by day. You might be sick one day. Your best might not be your best as it would have been if you were in a healthy state of being. I love this book. It's a great beginner's book if you're just jumping into your spirituality journey, because it's written almost elementary like, not childish, but it's written in plain English. Like, it's so easy to understand, it's so easy to comprehend. I always recommend this to people who want their first, one of their first books on their spiritual journey. And Don Miguel Luis is a very, very wise man, and I definitely recommend this book. Check this out. It is also very, very life-changing. The third book I have here is The Alchemist. The Alchemist is a very popular book. I'm sure you probably already heard of it. If not, I am here to introduce it to you. The Alchemist is almost like my Bible. I've been reading this book for years as well. I always come back home to this book. This is not my original copy. This isn't the first copy of The Alchemist that I've had. I lost it in the transition of moving, and I was kind of devastated about that, because I wanted my first copy forever. Like, I had so many things underlined and stuff like that, but it's cool. I just went to Target and got a new one because I couldn't go without it. And The Alchemist is unlike the other 2 books. It is an actual fictional story. It's a storytelling book, and it's by Paulo Coelho, if I pronounced that right. And this is one of a very national treasure. This book is about a boy, a shepherd's boy, who goes on the journey to find a treasure. And along in that journey, he ends up getting signs from the universe, getting guidance from the universe, getting clarity from the universe. It just shows how no matter what you do or where you go, you are never alone, and that there are always opportunities and signs and things that you can take with you along your journey, so you can make it to where you truly deserve to be, to reach your destiny. And it's so many hidden jewels in this book. And if you're not into, the self-help type of style, and you like fictional stories, I don't know, like Harry Potter and things like that, then this is also an amazing book. This book opens your mind to the fact that everything you want wants you, and when you're in alignment, there's nothing you can do to step out of alignment. There's nothing you can do to step out of the grace and the will of God in reaching your destiny. So The Alchemist is definitely in my top 5 books of all time. Pick it up, read it. A lot of celebrities has given credit to them reaching their destiny because of this book. So research it, see other people who has read it and who the story has worked for, and them reaching their full potential in their journey. Definitely recommend this book. Okay, so book number 4 is Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. This book here is a very new millennial book, but the wisdom is very ancient, and I love that. So I started reading this book recently this year, maybe back in March. And Jay Shetty is a previous monk. He used to be a monk, and he came back into regular society and decided to use everything he learned as a monk to teach us regular civilians how we can live like a monk. And if you don't know anything about a monk, scientists have studied monks' brains, and they are the happiest beings on the planet. Monks meditate for hours on end. Their brains are the happiest because of that state of awareness that they're in the majority of the time. And they also have a very high pain tolerance. Like, a lot of things can't affect them. So if you want to be happy, a monk is definitely who you want to learn about happiness from. So that's what made me pick up this book, and it is so good. I love how he explains his journey as a monk and how he relates it to this new 2021 lifestyle, and how you can use these monk techniques on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to go and meditate for 15 hours a day to reach enlightenment. He tells you how you can reach enlightenment and little things that you can, start climbing the ladder towards that enlightenment every day. For example, he speaks about having a daily routine, a morning routine, a night routine, a routine where you don't really have to plan too much of the day. You already know what you're going to do, because structure leads to more freedom. And also he breaks down the concept of meditation and how that awareness and being clear in your mind, which I'll get to in my next video, can help you reach that place of happiness. He talks about overcoming negativity, how you can deal with the face of negativity, how we have all been that negative person, and how you could embrace negative people with love and even from a distance. He really explains how doing unto others as you want done to you is the essential way to live. A lot of us heard that our whole lives, and for some reason we didn't grasp the concept. But he really makes it clear that we are all one, and whatever you do for someone else, you are genuinely doing for yourself. And whenever you harm someone else, you are genuinely harming yourself. And I just love how he breaks down these old wise techniques in such a modern way. So Think Like a Monk, Jay Shetty, highly recommend it. I do plan on reading this book again. I actually took that book with me to California when I went for my birthday trip, and I read it on the plane ride there. I read it in Cali. I read it on the plane ride back. I couldn't put the book down. It was absolutely amazing. So last but not least, number 5 is Ask and It Is Given. This is another recent read for me. I just finished reading this book like a couple weeks ago. And I've heard about this book so many times throughout my spiritual journey process, and I knew eventually I was going to read it. But I know that divine timing allowed me to read this book right now where I am in life today, because the way I grasped and understood this book, I'm 100% sure I would not have understood it the way I do now back then. So I'm really grateful that I read this book now. Ask and It Is Given is the keys. It's the keys. Like, it gives you every detail you need to know about achieving your desires, reaching your goals, and living the life that you truly were born and created and chose to live. So the book basically starts off talking about how we came to this planet knowing that we had the right to have every single thing we want with no question asked, that everything we want, we automatically receive it in another realm, and we just have to have it gravitate towards us and not resist it. Start allowing what we want to come to us. So we already had this knowledge before we became human beings on this planet. Our souls knew this already. So this book it feels like a reminder. When you're reading this book, you feel as if everything in it you already knew. You're just being reawoken and reminded to your power, and you can feel the angelic energy with every passage that you read in that book. You can feel the angelic energy of every passage. It is by, I didn't say who it was by, I'm sorry. It is by Esther and Jerry Hicks, but it's teaching from Abraham. Abraham is an enlightened being who channeled himself through the writer Esther and had them together make a book to teach us how to manifest the life of our desires. And it gives 22 or 21 different ways that you can manifest, and different ways that you can raise your vibration to align these things to you. I'm really grateful for that read. I know I'm going to read it again. So yeah, those were my top 5 books that I recommend. Thank you for anyone who has supported me from my first video to now. I will be more consistent. I'm coming back with more videos. This is something that I truly like to do, and I hope you guys like seeing my face because I am not going anywhere. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.